Right, I'll try this again. Been meaning to do a proper video before the sun went down. I can see what I'm doing. Right, this is a letter that I've written to the parish magazine this time, and how it goes is, it's I'm fed up with hearing all this stuff about climate change and Extinction Rebellion when there is a much bigger picture. Climate change is caused by climate engineering being the main culprit. The military have done and are still doing high altitude oral research for experiments that tear the ozone layer, shred the ozone layer, for warfare. This technology kills and disorientates all creatures, and it's imploded dolphins' brains, right? Caused mammal deaths. It disorientates birds completely. It kills birds in the sky. It's like zaps them. It can create earthquakes because basically what they do is they shoot 1 billion volts up into the ionosphere, and it comes down kind of like threefold, and they can direct it, and it causes earthquakes like Fukushima and Chernobyl perhaps, which next to very close to the Russian woodpecker system, about 6 miles away. The Russian harp, which was also like taken out, rendered that they couldn't use it. Right, the weather engineering experiments involving most plane companies. Their weather engineering experiments involving most plane companies now participating in spraying nanoparticles of aluminium sulfate. Thanks to David Keith, geoengineer, who proposed it like 17 years ago. Said we're riding on the backs of our grandchildren. Yeah, we got Extinction Rebellion saying, oh yeah, we need something to sort out this global warming. Well, climate change, the main thing, I hate that word climate change, it used to be called global warming, but now because of like experiments, ice nucleation for weather modification that causes crazy chemical snow, they can't exactly like call it that anymore. I guess they started calling it different about 17 years ago when David Keith like proposed all this. There always were experiments, weather modification experiments, like the Linton and Lynmouth disaster. That was 1955. They were going to do a television program about how they could make it rain, but it like backfired on them because it washed the village away. Then you get sort of stuff like Kovrak, and that's kind of like the fallout of, and then there was like all that crazy snow in Cornwall about a year ago, whatever it was, year and a half ago. Well, that was ice nucleation for weather modification. You don't get snow coming up from the south and covering the beaches. But what it was it was like meant to be a moist front, and it was ice nucleated. If you go on geoengineeringwatch.org, you'll find out about it. Loads of stuff about 5G awareness. Yeah, and we need to stop it in Cornwall because it's been confirmed by RadioCornwall.com that it's one of the 2 test areas in the UK for 5G. There's actually a few more. One of the 2 rural test areas in 5G. Well, they was already implementing it in the Welsh Valleys when I left, and it was in Swansea City Centre. And yeah, it's in a few places, or it's 4.9 at the moment. It'll soon go up a bit more. They're still messing with it all. It's ridiculous. It needs to be stopped. It's dangerous. Total control. Yeah, don't have a smart street lighting outside your window. Where did we go to get away from it, and how did I manage to move to the epicentre for the rollout of this horrible military waveband technology, millimetre waveband technology, that can, zap you with frequency weapons. It can make people hear things in their heads. Oh yeah, an interesting thing, when I did the mixing for in 1991 with a PA system, that had their low frequency, whatever it was, that could go to like a really good frequency. Must have been the one that's the same as the resonance of the earth. And yeah, and it'd make everyone feel like trippy and good. Probably 725 hertz, yeah. But now we're talking like gigahertz, and that's not the same as 7.2 gigahertz, because somewhere in between, I believe there's kilohertz, but I don't really know. But anyway, you can make everyone feel good with certain frequencies. Hawkins used to use it for bars as well. They used to make people feel uncomfortable, make them feel that they needed to go to the toilet or whatever, because you can do that as well. It's been done for weird experiments, make people have orgasms, all sorts. Been used in, psychiatry, yeah, in the 1960s and that. Look it up, that's all true. So, yeah. Do all sorts with it, make people have voices in their heads through it. Some people are more electrosensitive than others. Yeah, there's probably magical ways to block it anyway. I suppose, yeah, everything has the potential for good and bad, but this one's dodgy, because it's in the wrong hands, and all bad frequencies they want to use, not the good ones, they makes them illegal. So anyway, we had our eviction day the next day in the military. They put on their high frequency that with you could feel it like in your with my music you could hear it down at Trebarwith 5 miles away, but you couldn't actually hear it, you could just like feel it. You could work out what the song was because you could like hear it in your chest. But with what they were doing, I fell asleep in the sun halfway up the hill of Brown Willie, and it felt like all my internal organs were frying up. They done it to the women at Green and Common as well. But the soldiers was actually scared by the women at Green and Common, because they went round in a big circle and chanted Red Indian chants to make the song come out. And a big patch of sky opened up above their heads with blue sky, and the soldiers were scared of them and thought they was witches. So yeah, cool. That's all we need to do. All the good witches get together, not the ones who are being idiots, the evil, whatever they are, weird witches and St. Just who are going along with Extinction Rebellion. Come on now. See the truth. Gail Bradbrook in leave of the telecommunications industry. They're pushing for all this bloody smart street lighting. That's all the bloody 5G rollout. And what else are they pushing for? Oh yeah, the scientists can do something about this global warming. And yeah, they're also trying to condone, the geoengineering, the stratospheric aerosol injection, the solar radiation management, chemtrails, yeah? All the shit that they're pumping up into the sky, wonderful to block out the sun, and every other agenda that they've got, yeah? Agenda 21, Agenda 30. New World Order agendas, UN agendas, and yeah, well, Brussels has said no to 5G. Why can't our government? And if we're not in the pockets of the of the European lot, where be the European umbrella, we'll be in the pockets of the Americans, but the European lot are dodgy as well, because you've got rural EU, rural, what is it, digital inclusion, rural development fund, but that's all funded from behind that, like United Nations, sort of bigger stuff behind that. It's awful. And they're all in the pockets of the telecommunications industry. So yeah, wake up. And they want to make it so no one can even have a wood fire anymore. Right, roll on. Because there's nothing wrong with carbon. We're made up of carbon. It's not carbon that's the problem. It's them depleted the ozone layer with their chemicals, with their that deplete the ionosphere, all their chemical shit, all their genetically altered shit. and people who can't even see it. There's only a small percentage of us who even see it. It's just ludicrous. I just can't believe it. I've moved back to the epicentre of it, and I'm trying to stop it. They probably do to me, or worse, what what they tried to do to David Steele, what they've done to poor old Julian Assange, or before what they did to me in Wales. Because if you say, oh, doctors should be, stopping this happening, then they try and say you're mad, roll on, because you sort of come up as, when everything gets put through to to all their silly little data centre that all goes from Bude to go to America and all that. Yeah, I don't know, awful, isn't it? Awful. But everyone needs to speak out about it, and I feel like I'm really alone here in this quest. And I've got all the Extinction Rebellion witches against me that should be, taking on board what's really happening, i.e. climate change is climate engineering. It's really good. Look for it. Funny video on YouTube. It's not climate change. It's Cobra. It's a kids' cartoon because they put loads of this stuff in cartoons, and half the stuff in the computer games, it's stuff that's really happening. It is just like filtered down from the people that know, and inside information, like going back to who was it, Kurt Vonnegut, who wrote Cat's Cradle about Ice Nine wiping us all out, annihilating everyone. Well, that was far-fetched, but his brother was Bernard Vonnegut, who together with Bernard Langmuir and the Electric Company of America were the first ones to ever do ice nucleation, weather modification experiments. So roll on. 1947 it first started. Watch geoengineeringwatch.org. .org. Geoengineeringwatch.org. It's just tell you everything, all the old patents, or what they've done, everything about the geoengineering, stratospheric aerosol injection, stratospheric radiation management. Watch 5G awareness video, the truth about Extinction Rebellion, make sure it's their one, and that'll show you just how Gail Bradbrook, in league with the telecommunications industries, her husband was military, etc, etc. There we go. I hope I can upload this because I haven't had much luck so far. Nope.